for a long time. Right now my skin isn't as oily as it was like back when I was in high school. But when I was in high school and even when I was in college, I had very oily skin. And it was a pain dealing with my oily skin, especially those times where like I would have to go somewhere after school or after work, and my skin was like so oily and I didn't have time to like redo my makeup, and that's always what I wanted to do, but I just didn't have the time, and so I would have to go to wherever it was that I was going with my super oily skin, and I would just feel very uncomfortable. And yeah, it was just not fun. And so I'm going to show you a way that you can retouch your makeup and have it look like you washed your face and just did your foundation without having to wash your face. I've already applied all of my skincare products, toner, moisturizer, sunscreen, etc. My skin is prepped, so now I'm just going to show you how I apply my makeup when I know that I'm going to be going somewhere after work and I'm not going to have time to redo my entire makeup. I'm just going to have like 5 minutes or 10 to retouch and make sure that I don't look so oily and greasy. So yeah, I start by priming my lids because I want to make sure that my eyeshadow stays on all day, and when it comes to retouching my makeup, I don't really want to worry about my eyes. I really usually just want to worry about my skin. Once your lids are primed, then you just want to apply your eyeshadow. I've already applied my eyeshadow and I just did very neutral colors, just because I think they wear better throughout the day. Okay, once your eyes are done, then you want to move to your face. And just like you did with your eyes, we primed our eyes. You can start by priming your face. I'm just going to use my Missha Pore Minimizing First Base. The next step is to apply your concealer, and well, the next step can either be applying your concealer and then your foundation, or you can apply your foundation and then your concealer, whichever you prefer. So I'm just going to use the concealer first, and I'm going to hide scars and blemishes on my face. You've applied your concealer, then you just move on to your foundation. I'm going to be using my Missha Perfect Cover BB Cream. Now, the next step is extremely important. I know that after you apply your foundation, you should set it with powder. The setting powder should help your foundation stay in place and stay on longer. But my recommendation here is to not use any setting powder. Really don't use any type of powder on your face. No setting powder, no blush if it comes in powder form. But you just don't want to apply any powders on your face, and the reason is that once it's time to retouch our makeup, we are going to be applying our foundation again. And even though in the morning I use my BB cream, when it comes to applying my makeup for, I guess, the nighttime or for going out, I am going to use my regular foundation. And if I have any powders on my face, when I apply my foundation later in the day, it's going to look cakey and it's just not going to look very natural. So it's very important that I don't use any powders on my face. Okay, so the items that you're going to need are some blotting sheets, facial mist, I'm going to be using Max Charged Water, but Max Fix Plus works perfectly. And you're also going to need your foundation. I'm going to be using the Sally Hansen foundation. And this is optional if you don't want to, carry around a brush with you. You can just use your hands. But I am going to be using the MAC 109 brush because I don't like applying foundation with my fingers. So the first thing you want to do is grab blotting sheets. You want to grab about 3. And then just kind of blot all of that oil off of your face, like this. And then you're going to apply your setting mist all over your face, and it's going to help refresh your face, and it's also going to absorb any excess oil that you still have on your face. If you have really oily skin, you can go back and pat your skin with the blotting sheets to remove excess oil. But really the point is just to try to get rid of as much of the oil that's on your face as possible. I love spraying the mist just because it really helps refresh my skin. And since I can't use water to wash my face and get that refreshed feeling, I love using a facial mist. So while your face is still wet, you want to apply your foundation because the facial mist is going to help your foundation blend out. And that's it. And the reason why this is going to go so quickly is because you already, hid your foundation with your acne scars, active pimples with your concealer early in the day. And you also applied a layer of foundation. So this way when you retouch, you can go back and apply concealer to any big pimples that you have, or if you have a really dark scar that you want to cover up, you can quickly apply some of your concealer and then your foundation over it. But if you don't need to use the concealer, you can just skip that step and go ahead and apply your foundation. And a little bit of foundation is going to really go a long way since you already have kind of a layer of foundation and concealer on your face to begin with. So after that, you can go ahead and apply your setting. Now you can apply setting powder. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, I didn't want you to use any setting powder in the morning because I didn't want the powder to mix in with the foundation that we just applied now, because it would just make your makeup look cakey and unnatural. But now you can go ahead and apply your setting powder, and I'm just using Max, what is this called? Mineralized Skin Finish as my setting powder. And I would actually carry my makeup brushes with me, but if you don't want to carry makeup brushes, you can carry just like a sponge and apply your setting powder with the sponge. And really, this is all you need to do. If you need to retouch your eyes, go ahead and do that. If you want to apply blush, which I always feel like I have to apply blush, then you can just quickly apply some blush. Applying blush literally takes, 30 seconds or less, so you're not going to waste too much time if you decide that you want to apply a little bit of blush to your cheeks just to get some color to your face. And that's pretty much it. And then just quickly fix your hair again.